At least 10 now known as dead, more than a dozen injured after a van plowed into a group of pedestrians. It happened in Toronto. CGTN's Roee Ruttenberg's been following the story for us all day long. There's just been a news conference. What can you tell us?
That's right. A lot of people waiting to hear about these developments. I was attended by the chief of police, the mayor of Toronto, the representing the federal government, the public safety minister, the premier of Ontario. A few things. First of all, that death toll now at 10. It was 9 before. The police chief saying that the majority of the victims are still identified, right? Bodies strewn there on the sidewalk, dragged on the sidewalk, having a difficult time identifying those killed and those injured now in hospital. About 1 kilometer of Yonge Street there in North York in northern Toronto remains cordoned off. It's an active police investigation thing. We also heard the public safety minister saying that there is no connection, no national security incident connected to this attack based on the information they know at this time. And also the police chief saying, despite those images that many people saw, believing that this person driving a van may have had a gun, police saying that nothing indicates that he has a gun. Now, they've also confirmed a name that had been floating around, 25-year-old Alex Manassian, saying he is not a resident of Toronto. This is the individual they say was driving that van that at various times over the course of 2 kilometers jumped both onto the curb as it was driving southbound there on Yonge Street and also into northbound lanes. Lots of erratic behavior. And we also heard from officials really just trying to comfort the residents of Toronto, the residents of Canada at this very difficult time for the country. Let's have a listen.
He's going 70, 80 clicks. He's just hitting people one by one, going down. Oh man, it was like, it's a nightmare, man. I got to Yonge and Empress, and I seen a lady with her leg, and oh man, it's a gruesome scene. It's really bad out there.
This is not emblematic of who we are as a city or as a province, but it is a tragedy that we will work through. But there will be a lot of sadness and pain before that happens.
People who live in the city, who have come to the city from around the world, this kind of tragic incident is not representative of how we live or who we are or anything to do with life in the city on a day-to-day basis. And that I hope people will reflect on that, will reaffirm that.
Some measured tones there, some calming voices, but boy, we heard that eyewitness. I mean, what a horrifying thing to see. Give us an idea of this area.
Well, so like much of Canada, this is quite a multicultural area, but specifically North York is very multicultural. So about 60% of the people who live there were not born in Canada. They immigrated to Canada. 50% of the people identify as being ethnically standing out as being an ethnic minority. Now, of those, about 15% are Chinese Canadians or ethnically Chinese Canadians. But in that area of Willowdale there, a north part of Willowdale where this incident happened, that number jumps up to 30%. So quite a significant ethnically Chinese population there, quite a significant Iranian or Persian community as well. A lot of people asking if this driver intentionally targeted minority communities in Canada. So people are going to be investigating what was the motive here. They're going to wonder if it's a copycat of these scenes that we've seen in Europe with a vehicle driving into crowded areas, if it's specifically a race-based or a race factor there, or if it's something beyond that. Was this driver intoxicated? What motivated him to rent a vehicle and drive so erratically into a crowd? Or was there something more here? Terrorism, perhaps. This is not something that happens in Canada frequently. We hear of mass killings in the U.S., 10 people dying in a single incident. That number could go up in Canada. Very rare. I can't recall it happening before, Mike.
Yeah, Roee, it is a very, very sad day in Toronto. Thanks so much.